Hey everyone, welcome to the inaugural edition of the Coach on Command podcast. My name is Arron Littleton, and I'm the head coach of the Gymnastics Sport Center Storm. We are coming to you live from always hot Wichita Falls, Texas. We're so excited to be with you today. Thank you for checking us out. This has been something that we've been wanting to do for a long time. It's been in the works. We've been talking about it for literally years, a year at least, and we're pumped to finally give it a go. So we're gonna get this party started by I'm gonna go down the panel. I'm gonna let my illustrious colleagues here introduce themselves to you. So Kaegan, take it away.
I'm Coach Kaegan. I'm one of the coaches that work here at Gymnastics Sport Center. I teach a little bit of everything: gymnastics, cheer, parkour, tumbling, gymkata. I'm one of the Advanced Parkour students, constantly trying to learn more and teach more.
All right. And Tracy, what about you?
My name's Tracy. My background, so I had a crazy idea one day whenever I was in high school. I literally was just playing video games, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and a Deku Shrub told me that if you jump from a high ledge and you land and you roll, you won't take damage. And my peanut-sized brain said, that could work. And so I tried it, and it did work. And not only did it work, but, I tried to gain more skills based off of that. And then I found out that this skill has a name. It's called freerunning. It's called parkour, depending on, where you are in the world. And I went off to college. Initially, I was just kind of doing it by myself, but someone saw what I was doing and said, oh, you're doing that thing where people jump from buildings, right? Said, it's called parkour. He's like, yeah, there's another guy. And I met this other guy. And he and I started working out together, and we found others. And eventually, we found out we're not alone. And there's other people that do this. And we started sharpening each other like iron sharpens iron. We would push each other a little harder. And eventually, we moved on to a point where we found this coach. It was a gymnastics gym. We found a gym, and it was a gymnastics gym. They did not have a parkour class. We did not necessarily want to teach parkour. That was not our interest. We wanted to train, but we wanted to have a good place to train. And we offered a deal to the head of the gym at the time, and we told him, we will teach a class, and we don't need any payment. We just want to be able to use your gym to practice more safely. And he struck that deal, and that's how we got into coaching.
That's a good story. That's a good story. I think I know that guy.
Yeah, you might have met him.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
All right, and so as I said, my name is Arron Littleton. I'm the head coach of the Gymnastics Sport Center Storm of our competitive team. And so my background is there is no background in gymnastics at all. In fact, I was a basketball player, I was a baseball player, and I needed a job one day during 2012, and it was during a recession, and so I called the same man that Tracy talked to. Actually, he was a guy who went to our church, and he had owned this business, the Gymnastics Sport Center, for 20-ish years by that point. And so he called me one day, and he goes, "Hey, I need somebody who can pull this belt over here." And we still have the belt. The very same belt hangs in the gym today. And so he goes, "Hey, you don't know anything about gymnastics. I know you don't know anything about gymnastics." And you know what, guys? He was right. I didn't know the first thing. I had no business being here whatsoever. And so, but he gave me a shot. He was like, "Hey, I didn't have a job at the time." And so he goes, "Hey, why don't you come work for me? I'll pay you $10 an hour." And $10 an hour, I don't know if y'all know this, is much better than $0 an hour. Infinitely, yes. By an order of magnitude, it is better. And so I was like, you know what, man? I don't know anything about what we're going to be doing, but yeah, I can come pull a belt and make sure that the kids stay up and, maybe don't crack their head into the trampoline, and I can do that for $10 an hour, no problem. So that was on a Thursday. At the time, we weren't working on Fridays. And so at the end of Thursday, he goes, I guess you did okay. Not bad. He's like, why don't you come back on Monday? I'll make you the same deal. And I was like, okay, I'll come back and I'll work for this guy. And if nothing else, I had no long-term aspirations or anything like that, but I was like, all right, on Monday, I'm going to show up. And I did. And it went fine. And at the end of Monday, he goes, why don't you just fill this out? Why don't you just work here? And you know what? That was, that was 14 years ago. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. We need to edit that out.
That's 12.
Yeah, 12. Yes, yes. And so, and then that.
That's why he's not a math major.
Listen, I flip the children. I don't do the math. But yeah, that was 12 years ago. That was 12 years ago, and I've been here ever since, and I worked my way up. When I first started, I was basically the janitor of the Gymnastics Sport Center. Joe would be like, hey, I need this light to be fixed. I need, we need to clean the bathroom. We need to do whatever. And so, that's how I got my start. And then before you know it, I kind of fell in love with the sport and just working with the kids and all of that. And, I worked my way up to being in charge of beginners, in charge of the team program. And now, I kind of own the place. And so, at least I'm the managing partner. And, so yeah, that's the origin story. I'm told that every great hero has one.
Hey, they all start from ground zero, right?
Right. Absolutely. And so my next question is, why do you coach, Kaegan? Why, you could do anything in the world. You could flip the burgers. Why flip the children instead?
Nailed it.
That's a great question.
That's a great segue.
That was great. No, there's a lot of reasons why I'd much rather flip children than flip burgers, but mainly because I do a lot of this because of the kids. The kids love me. The kids love learning from me.
Very
I love
modest.
teaching them. I'm
great. That's why.
I am extraordinarily humble. I am
More
great.
humbler than you.
I'm more humbler. I am amazing. I am beautiful.
I'm gonna
No.
cut that part out.
No. No. I do this because I am wanted and I am needed.
All right.
That's fair. Sometimes all you need is to have a role to fill.
Have a place to belong. All right,
Yeah.
Tracy, why do you coach?
Actually, I never wanted to coach. Even whenever I first started, we made this deal where we would coach and we would get to practice for free. But really all I was interested in was practicing, learning the sport. I wanted to better myself. And I didn't really expect that we would gain kids for this class that we offered, but we did. And it actually grew far beyond anything I ever thought it would. And I actually found that sometimes these kids would ask me questions and I wouldn't know the answer. So I would study and learn so that way I could tell them. And teaching made me better. There's no better way to learn something than to try to teach it to someone else. And teaching did make me better at the sport, not just in technical terms, but physical ability as well. Sometimes I couldn't do a thing, so I had to learn how to actually do that thing so I could demonstrate. Well, as I started to teach and watch kids grow, I realized I actually enjoy this. I like fostering, the next generation, let's call it. Maybe that's not accurate, but it's nice to foster kids and watch them grow and learn. And that grew on me, so to speak, and never lost the love for it.
That's great, and I think that it all comes. Hang on.
We're leaving that in.
Yeah. That's great, and I think that's really what kind of bonds all of us, is the kids. It's like, the best thing about being here is not being somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's like you've got people who are excited to see you when you walk in the door, and that's something that always really struck me. Anywhere else you go and it's like, hey, why are you 5 minutes late? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing here? Why are you not doing this or that or the other? But when you walk in, a gym, this gym specifically, but any gym, those kids are pumped to see you. This is the best part of their week. This is the best thing that they get to do. And I mean, they're so excited to be here. And, you've got to match that energy, And so I always really enjoyed that about the coaching and getting to see the development. I never really wanted to be a competition coach, but, here we are. I've been the competition, the head coach of our competition team for, this will be my 8th year, but COVID wiped one out. So this is my 7th season here coming up pretty soon. And I never really wanted to do that part of it. That part just kind of found me. But yeah, coaching and just being around the kids, I mean, their energy is infectious, and it really makes you want to be the person that they think you are. You know what I mean?
Live up to their standards.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, when I see them out, it just changed something inside of me, and I realized pretty early that this is, I don't know that I thought of it in the terms of that. Hey, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, and this is what I have to do, and I'm going to own this gym one day. I don't think that there wasn't that train of thought, but there was that, man, this is something special. And I enjoy doing this because I'd been other places, and it's like your bosses don't always like you. You don't always like.
Personally,
yeah.
My boss absolutely does not like me. Like he just so horrible. Honestly.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'll talk to him for you. What do you think?
But yeah, it's just such a special thing, and in a small, condensed and contained way, you're kind of like a rock star. I mean, these people are, they come here for you, and they want to see you, and the kids are so happy to see you, and it's like, I mean, there's just nothing really like it, and I think I made the analogy to Kaegan. It's like, you don't show up at McDonald's because Jim's on the fries, that's not really something that happens, but people come here for Coach Tracy, for Coach Kaegan, Coach Arron, whoever, and that's a special bonding, that's something that I've never really taken for granted. All right, and so the other question that I think is really pertinent in this situation is that what are we hoping to accomplish with this? Why are we doing this podcast? What's the point? And the point is that I think that we have a lot of knowledge to give as far as the things that we've learned in this sport, whether we were trying to do so or not. There's a lot of things that we have that we can talk about that may help out other people. And the thing about gymnastics in particular is that it's a pretty insular sport. Everybody knows football, everybody knows basketball, everybody knows baseball, but gymnastics is much more of a niche sport, and so less people know about it. And that goes, I mean, definitely for parkour, acro, all of that kind of stuff. And so we want to help those people. I want to make this podcast because it's the podcast I wish that would have existed when I first started coaching. Because if you weren't a gymnast, if you weren't a coach as a person, or your child is now doing gymnastics, it's hard for you to really be able to pick up and break into the sport the way that you can other sports. There's not that many people who are talking about the way gymnastics should be done or whatever. And we want to help with that. We want to help. Hey, my daughter can't get this cartwheel. My daughter can't do this. My son's having trouble with this Kong. Whatever. What would you suggest? And I think that's a space that we can really fill. That's important because we've been doing this a while, and I can't tell you how many people stop me every day and it's like, hey, how can I fix this? What can I do? And I think that this would be a great way for us to kind of get that out there about how you can develop the sport, how you continue to grow the sport, and just kind of give back to the sport that we love. And that's what we're trying to do. And I think that's something that's valuable. And so we want to be able to help and give back and really kind of put a positive face on gymnastics and on parkour and help out wherever we can, because this sport has given us so much. And that'll do it for us today. We thank you very much for hanging out with us, for listening to what we have to say, and we hope to see you again very soon. So please stay tuned right now for your local 7-day forecast.
And have a flipping great day.
And don't forget to set. Take care.